Palisade Radio. I'm sitting here at the Jekyll Island Club for the Palisade Global Conference. It's just coming to an end now. We have with us Brian Robertson. It's the first time I've had him on the show. He's the CEO of Mexican Gold Corp, a company that Palisade Global owns about 20% of. Brian, happy to have you on the show, and you were a speaker here. Great to have you down.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we got a presentation yesterday on Mexican Gold. It's an exciting project in that you guys just put your maiden resource out a little over a month ago, which showed 1 million ounces between all categories. And of maybe even more significance to the market is the drill hole that you guys just finished logging last week and put the news release out on.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Colin. Excuse me. And that is a very exciting drill hole in the sense that we have long intervals. That drill hole was 77.2 meters. And we also see very strong mineralization in that hole. We see chalcopyrite, we see bornite, and we see magnetite. And when you get that combination at Las Minas, or in a skarn deposit, but certainly at Las Minas, what we see is some very high gold numbers that go with the copper numbers. So very exciting hole. Our people at site believe that that's certainly one of the best holes that we've drilled.
Well, one thing that you shared yesterday, why another reason the hole is so important, is it's near the existing resource, and it extends the resource significantly below the existing model and above the model, and that shows the market that what we put out with 1 million ounces is not the last thing you're going to see out of Las Minas. You're continuing to build ounces to that resource.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. As you mentioned, it cut a 21-meter interval above the resource model. It also cut another 24-meter below the model. So there are 44 meters additional mineralization that's totally outside of the model. But the other interesting thing, and part of a recent news release we put out, is we've drilled to the west of the model, and we've extended the mineralization there by another 65 meters to the west. And so we've added additional tonnage on both sides for that model, and that's certainly significant.
Somebody asked you yesterday at what point you might think about doing a PEA or a report that would indicate that you're moving towards mining, and I hope you can provide the same answer that you did during the talk, because it got everybody very excited. At what point does it make sense to go from the exploration, drilling, resource expansion phase to something else? What's your target?
Well, basically, I've carried out PEAs for different deposits, and where we're at right now, we've drilled on 2 of the zones that we know at Las Minas. We know of 8 zones at Las Minas, so obviously we have a lot more drilling to do, and the 2 zones that we drilled on are still open. That's what we've demonstrated in this last round of drilling. So this is far too early to be looking at a PEA, because as the drilling continues, that resource will expand, and generally a PEA is done towards the end of the resource drilling and resource calculation.
We're currently at 1 million ounces, and just about every drill hole that goes in hits good gold. What is your target for this project in terms of what you think potentially could be there?
This deposit, we've had different people look at it, and we have estimates of up to 5 million ounces gold equivalent at this deposit, and I think that's very likely in the sense that we've drilled 2, we're already slightly over 1 million gold equivalent ounces. The other zones may well be larger than the ones that we are just finished drilling, and the ones that we drilled are still open.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting project. I think it's one of the most exciting stories out there. And when you're talking about the valuation against its peers in such a good jurisdiction like Mexico, we can't find anything better. So thanks so much for sponsoring the event and coming down and talking to our audience.
Thank you, Colin. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Great. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Think you understand the junior mining sector, and you think that the participants in the mining sector, junior mining sector, are good people and kind people, hit the bid.
How violent that term could be? It actually could be quite violent. It could be a rip-your-face-off uranium rally.
And the world is always going to need raw materials. It's going to need copper and gold and nickel and so forth.
Totally destabilized. Hey, Hey, Troll, did you hear what's going on in Yemen?